What is Gangstalking? It's a secret persecution program. And in this video, I attempted to record a 3-minute short of this, and it failed to post. Short failed to post, so I could go live and talk about it again. So, in this live stream, I'll be talk about a recent gangstalking targeting event, okay? And this is part of how I get targeted all the time. So if you're targeting the video, you get targeted with a variety of tactics. And one of the tactics you get targeted with if you target video is so-called directed speech, directed conversation, where the program will have strangers, flying monkey, gangstalkers, persecutors run for this program, comment on your personal life, or use certain trigger words like sadly. So they've had strangers engage in normal conversation, but it will have like a secret message to you, and you will feel targeted. That's called directed conversation, directed speech, okay? And I saw somebody that looks like they could be a fake TI that is, to cover that up, okay? Like an angle might be, well, the gaslighting, but when they're targeting people, it's to tell the truth about them. No. That's a false narrative. This program doesn't target you with the truth. They use lies to target you. See, they use lies to target you. Gaslighting lies is how they target you. When I look at flying monkeys talking to me for the program, it's gaslighting lies, okay? Lies. So I'm a Christian being told with satanic wicked evil persecution. And a big part of targeting is lies. So I was live on TikTok earlier today, and they sent them on this little flying monkey gang stalkers, wear like a yellow jacket, reflective jacket, to do directed conversation. And very subtle. So yesterday, my Christian wife, I talked on a video call with her, and I showed her chocolate sauce, like a sugary thing, and I know it looks like a snake with the tongue of a snake on it. There's like a saddle on the logo, looks like a snake with a tongue on it. Okay. And then today I go outside and they send a flying monkey director call. I go, Eve, hello Eve, or something like this. What is that? That's both the abuse of commenting on my personal life, where flying monkey work for the gangstalker or they spies on me 24/7. They're commenting and referencing something that happened in a personal video call with my wife, okay, being busy with other men's matters. So it's like Eve, and do you understand? It's very subtly commenting, referencing something that happened in a personal, private video call with my wife. See? And it's tapping into a narrative, gaslighting narrative that's used before, that I'm a snake, I'm of devil, I'm of Satan. And it's scapegoat and projection for the Christian ministry they're targeting. So, that is one of the ways you get targeted if you're targeted video. It's called directed conversation, directed speech. And it's not that they're commenting the truth. A lot of times, just comment your personal life, details, what you did in private, what you said on the phone is tyrannical abuse in of itself, because they're spying on you and they're having strangers comment on your personal life. Okay. Secondly, they will often be, in my experience, a gaslighting spin to it. So it's like they will reference something you said in private and put a gaslighting angle on it. Okay. Tapping into a theme that might be used on it. So demonization is part of gangstalkers. I've had a point before say, Mike, you're a snake. Mike, you're of Satan. You're a shape-shifting lizard, or you're a Nephilim, or something like this. And there's also scapegoat protection. Christian ministry, like the Bible Church, told me for the program. They told me, you're even further, okay, the serpent's more subtle than the beast of the field which God has made. So they're working to the Bible Church. So it's scapegoat for Christian gangstalking church, you see. It's like projection. Where it's like they're targeting me. If I look into the Bible Church, the covert abuse in the videos, when they communicate it to me, if I watch the videos, it's subtle lies, see, which is the path of Satan. Attack a Christian being persecuted for the persecution program with subtle lies, okay? So anyway, recent experience with this tactic, directed conversation, directed speech, that's one of the ways, and I'm going to keep making sense of this and speak the truth about the targeting tactics. So one of the ways you get targeted and harassed by gangstalkers in the neighborhood is so-called directed speech, directed conversation, which means I go out on my balcony to have a smoke. Yesterday, I showed my wife a logo and it looks like a snake, okay? And then they send a flying marker, Eve, okay? And that's very subtly commenting on my personal life. Very subtly, see, plausible, Darvo, where it's like Mike's paranoid. If I would run down and confront him, be like, stop gangstalking me, buddy. He'd be like, oh, I was accosted by a guy who accuses me of being a perp. I was just making small talk. get them in the cycle, understand. So it's baiting you for normal tactics if you respond to it. It's plausible and it's so subtle that you can tell you're being harassed. And part of the missing puzzle piece to be able to see that harassment is happening for the target is the missing puzzle piece is your personal experience, your life, okay? So it's like they can have somebody, that's the target tactic. Just reference something I said on the phone recently on a video call. Do you understand? That is a target tactic. And one way they can do directed speech is if I will call my wife on a video call before going live here, and I go, hey, honey, I was thinking about buying a 3-pack of tennis balls for juggling and martial arts training or something like this. And next time I go outside, they got a gangstalker juggling tennis balls in the park. See, they got sent out to when next time I go to smoke a cigarette on his balcony, somebody gets sent out his neighbor gangstalker, and they're just juggling tennis balls. And there'll be a reference to something I said on the phone recently, which make me feel abused. Because that's part of targeting. You're being spied on. You have no privacy. Your phone calls are monitored, your text messages, your video calls. It's like you're talking to your wife on a video call. They be commenting on what you're saying in the video call. So just commenting and like reminding you, referencing since you've settled down in private is an abuse tactic. It's tyrannical. And that is one of the target tactics you get targeted with if you're talking video. There is also an effort by the program to cover this tactic up and control the narrative. Be like, yeah, the gangstalkers are saying the truth about the target, okay? No, they're gaslighting you, okay? And they're like half-truths. There's enough truth for you to notice that they're referencing a video call that you had, and then there'll be a gaslighting spin all the times. So that's how subtle it can be. Now, part of the picture is me having seen that person before participating in gangstalking. Do you understand? So that person, I've seen them in the neighborhood before participating in gangstalking. And I go outside, have a smoke, they go like, oh, yeah, Eve or something like this. So that taps in, first of all, it's a subtle reference, veiled reference to something I said on the phone where I showed my wife like a cola sauce bowl and like looks like a snake, doesn't it? And it's like part of the design is like, if you pour it, it's like, so it's like an S like this. So and it's like a stick on, looks like a tongue. It looks like a snake and snake's tongue. And then when they're referencing that, like Eve is subtly referencing what I said in the video called my wife, with a gaslighting spin that I'm Satan like a snake who's tempting my wife or something like this. When in reality, that's part the opposite inversion of the truth. Where I come into her life, start worrying about sugar and don't fall for the temptation to eat sugar all the time. Start taking vitamin C, preach the gospel to her and she gets saved, okay? But since that's true, we use inversions of the truth. You might feel Satan, you're like the devil, and so somehow. So it's both come to my personal life and subtle gaslighting. Tapping into a theme and narrative that I've been talking about before, demonization by this cult. It was like, Mike, you're a devil, you're a serpent seed, you're a Nephilim, you're a witch, basically, what we're witch hunting you, okay, interesting. It's like, you're of the devil, you are Satan, you are a snake, you are of the devil, you're like Satan. I'm not surprised I've been told with, like, by a witch hunt campaign that you're a witch, understand? Demonization, dehumanization tactics. He didn't get to believe absurdities can get to believe atrocities. So these gang-stalking cult members, like Christian church, like the Bible church, are part of it. They're a cult, understand? They're cult members, and they don't have reason, okay? So they're not in reality. So anyways, the point. So that is one of the very subtle ways that they can target you. Do you understand? Out in open with direct conversation, and one type of direct conversation is veiled references to personal life. And it doesn't have to be gaslighting. A lot of times the direct conversation, my experience, would be a gaslighting angle to it. Understand? So in of itself, it can be abuse in a way that you get harassed. Where if it would just be yesterday on a video call with my wife saying goodnight to her, if I go like, yeah, I'm thinking about buying some tennis balls and juggle with them. And then today I go out to have a cigarette and there's somebody juggling tennis balls in the park. And they could have, next time tomorrow he goes out, we have a perp, get a hold of some tennis balls, and they get sent out to start juggling in the park. And that will be referencing, oh, I feel violated. I'm being spied on. Talk to my wife in video calls to have people like referencing what I've been saying in video calls, and they make you feel harassed. If I had hacked your computer, if you're my viewer, okay, I was like a tech voice, and it's like Joe Rogan was subscribed to me, and every time he tunes in, it's like I'm referencing something that he said at the dinner table with his wife, or do you understand? Or in the gym exercising with his children or something like this. And every time he tunes in, it's like I'm referencing something that he said in private recently. He feel abused, rightfully so. There's like this fucking freak weirdo. He's like spying on me, my personal home, watching me and listening to me talking to my wife and then calmly on in his videos. But it could be false deniable. And if you make a video, yeah, there's a guy in Sweden who started talking to me. I don't know if it happened. Oh, you're paranoid, Joe. It's a paranoid. You're paranoid, okay? I'm just talking about stuff. Oh, okay. So anyway, that's the point. So just that is a way you get targeted. When they come to your personal life to make you feel violated, that you have no privacy, this predatory program that is out to get you and hurt you all the time, or also you have no privacy. It's like we have a visual all the time. Us evil people are looking to abuse you all the time. We're watching every move, understand? We're watching you, you have no privacy. So just calling your personal life, making references to things you've said on the phone is an abuse tactic of itself. Now, there will most of the time be a gaslighting spin to it or a veiled threat connected to it or something like this. So in reality, I'm the opposite. I mean, I'm a Christian. It's rare in my ability with God one that I can see, where I can decode the matrix system. And part of me being the opposite of Satan, okay, not tempting my wife to poison herself. I show up in life, preach the gospel, she gets saved. I start warning about sugar, okay, and all these other things, and get her to start taking vitamin C, and her health has been improving. So that's the opposite of like this. But notice it's like the things like that's part of how I am as a husband leader, working to show my wife is like the hidden and plain view truth, where it's like things are bad for your health. Sadly, the label will show that it's bad for your health. There'll be like a snake on the sugar cola sauce bottle, and notice it looks like a snake in a snake's tongue, and it's subtle, see? And that's part of helping her to see that in this world we live in, be so vigilant for others that was all I want to it may devour. More sudden the beast of the field shall gather me. It's helping her to see the way I see it. It's like looks like a snake, because it's by design. So sugar is a toxin, a venom. Okay, it's a toxin, and there's temptation in this world to advertisement to buy sugar products, and that's part of my health fitness coaching. Tell her to go on low sugar diet, eat the sugar and stuff. So notice how it'd be like a veiled gas, where it's like you are the serpent, you're like the snake. And it also talking for a program that has before been saying you're a snake, you're like the serpent, you're a snake, Mike, you're the devil, and stuff. So it's like once they did make that reference, it's like not only are they calling my personal life, but there's also like tapping into a gaslighting, long-standing, long-term gaslighting false narrative. It's like you're the devil, and stuff like this. Which is an inversion of the truth, and it's scapegoating for the cult members like the Bible Church, a part of Gangstalking, where I've been called them out as, oh, I'm a Christian being persecuted. I'm the total persecution program that they're secretly participating in, talking with covert abuse messaging in their videos, okay? And if I look at like what they're conveying, intimating in a veiled manner, it will be gaslighting lies most of the time, say. And I've dealt with them going, it's like interesting how you're as you participate in persecution of a Christian, the way that you participate is to attack with lies, subtle lies, okay? See, much like Satan, okay? So, Gangstalking is real, and that's an experience that I have today. And I've seen efforts to gaslight even more. And somebody I saw on a YouTube channel that in hindsight I gone, this could be a person working for the program to control the narrative, because the word about Gangstalking is getting on this YouTube channel, and they'd be kind of telling the same thing to control the narrative. So it's like, possibly. So it'd be like, I'm being targeted by people and they come on my life speaking the truth with surgical precision. Because the truth is, you get talked, he has to talk with gaslighting, okay? So it's like, to control the narrative, like if strangers are coming in a person's life, it's they tell them the truth. It's not that they told them what psychological warfare, gaslighting, lies to terrorize them and torment them and mess with them. Because that's what the program does. They're talking with lies, gaslighting lies, okay? And it can be enough truth for you to feel, to know that, okay, the ref's in a phone call, but it will be gaslighting about the phone call that you had, understand? So, the program doesn't attack you with truth, they attack with lies, gaslighting. So a lot of times in direct conversation, when I get told with that, it's gaslighting, it's a veiled threat, it's something like that. It is a gaslighting spin to it. It's a gaslighting spin to it. Do you understand? It'd be like, if I say on a phone call, video call, that I'm gonna buy some bananas, and then next time I go live on YouTube and open chat, there's a cyber tribe saying, you're so demon possessed, you should eat more bananas or something like this. Or it's like, or somebody just say something like this, like people are demon possessed, love bananas, something like this. Okay, so be like, if we're referencing something I said on the phone with a gaslighting spin on it. See, do you understand? It's like that type of stuff. So that's one of the targeting tactics. So I was live on TikTok today, and out of my balcony, and they sent up one of these little flying monkey yellow jackets that I've seen before do direct conversation. That's also part of it. Do you understand? It's not that it'd be enough for me to hear the name Eve spoke by somebody to go 100% to the Gangstalker, but there's a person that's participating in skits, directed speech before in the neighborhood. And also, like, the context is, I recently talked about something looks like a snake to a woman, okay? Do you understand? And then he goes Eve, so it's like a veiled gaslight that I'm Satan, and in the Garden of Eden, like Satan. But in reality, I'm the opposite of that. I'm a person that works to warn people about the temptation society. Sugar is a toxin. I've been saying that for years. And telling people to take vitamin C, which is an antitoxin. Okay? And things like this. So it's like this references, veiled references to your personal life is a common harassment tactic that tornadoes get targeted with. Where strangers, flying monkeys, gang stalkers will get put up to say things that you will know is like, oh, they're referencing something I said in private recently. Often with a gaslighting spin on it. Both of these subtle. The reference is subtle and the gaslighting spin is subtle. Okay? And that is the way you get targeted. Direct to speech, direct to conversation. And I do believe that possibly how they sell it to some of these sick free cult members is deception is part of the program. They use deception, lies to recruit people to target you. They target you with lies, the program. Okay? Gaslighting. I do believe that some of them, they tell them, it's like the reason we get you to say things around this guy is to remind him to keep an eye on him because he's a pedo that wants to eat your children. So it's like to remind him, I think they might sound like that. It's like to remind the person to keep an eye on them, to keep from doing something bad. And that kind of ties into, and from my research experience, that's what I tell people, especially if you're a man. There's like the guy who wants to eat your baby, it's like he's a pedo, he wants to do bad things to kids, he's a pedo, and that's why we're doing it, something like this. Now my point. The point is this. That's one of many ways you get targeted. And that's bad enough. That's tyranny, that's worth to fight against, okay? A state that happened to your country. Secondly, that's just one of many ways you get targeted. Direct conversation, direct speech. I've been targeted physically, intermittently targeted physically. They recruit people to do what's called narcissistic abuse tactics. So this program recruits people to say weird things around me, act in ways that I feel targeted by. And that's the intention for me to be targeted by. It can be veiled threat, button pushing by flying monkeys, saying things to push my buttons, subtle gaslighting, veiled threats, covert threats, things like this. But that's a big part of targeting where you be around flying monkeys that from the beginning or become recruited by the program, they will start pushing your buttons and like fucking with you covertly, basically. Okay. And it is highly sophisticated. So that's not the only tactic. Okay, so it's like I catch myself like I need to balance this out because I don't want to be part of the problem. So to say people, I have to call them out like fake T.I. Stopper, Feds Lisa account is a fake. So Gangstalking is basically adult bullying. It's not adult bullying, you get sprayed like a bug with poison chemicals and they try to murder you by shooting with the leg of the CIA dart gun, okay? And they try to make up accidents and target your loved ones. That's not bullying, okay? Adult bullying, okay? So it's like if I talk about folks on one tactic, at some point I feel I need to make the point that's not the only way we get targeted, okay? So this gangstalking persecution point is not that how I'm targeted, period, is by strangers calling up personal life and gaslighting me. That's a common tactic. It's like But one of the tactics in the daily life, being active online, being in this world around people, that's one of the most common tactics that you notice. Like flying monkeys doing things around it are covert abuse tactics. And a common covert abuse tactic is referencing your personal life. I've said it before, direct a conversation like this speech. How you can get harassed, as a silly example, is if I was sitting here and I'm drinking, let's say I had a wet throat or something like this, okay, and it's like and I'm not live. I have my phone here charging, and I go, oh shit, that was a wet throat. Okay, I gotta go change clothes, and then next time I go outside after take a shower, changing clothes, hopefully I'm out on the balcony, and there's some people that are in passing to you guys walk past the back and go like, oh dude, it's like that. You hear about John? It's like he shit himself down there. See, and notice how it'll be. It's like, oh, it's like they come to my personal life. And they might be more likely to do it, the more private it is, the more shameful it is. But it's not that they only do it about shameful things that you do or something wrong, okay? It's got to be just generally come to a personal life. But that gives you an example. Would that be possible, I say to be true, that the deep state could spy on people's phone calls and then get people to comment on their phone calls in public to make them feel harassed and spied on? No, it doesn't require an exotic, previously unknown technology. That's the difference between me and the fake TIs, like Shield Schnitzer, okay, and Catherine Horner. When I talk about gangstalking, what I'm saying is something that has happened before in recent history, this Herzetson program. So what Mike is claiming is happening in current society has happened in a society recently done by the government, the Stasi, the Herzetson program. And nothing that I'm claiming is being done to me requires the spirit world being real, and it doesn't require the existence of exotic, previously unknown, unproven technology, like brain-reading satellite machines or something like this that can read your thoughts in real time. RNM machines, remote neural D2K. Okay, some of your thoughts are not your own, they're beaming your thoughts into your mind, but the satellites, like Scott Snitz and stuff. So, unlike these people, nothing that I'm saying is impossible, and it doesn't require anything like the suspension of the laws of physics. Okay? Like, oh yeah, sometimes I get taught about a guy levitating in the room to harass me. It's like, well, that would be like you're on Earth, not in space, so how could you float in there? There's nothing that I'm claiming, as far as I get targeted, is like requires the spirit world being real, or requires the existence of some previously unknown, unproven technology, like machines that can read your mind or something like this, like you will get from Scott Snitz and others. Okay? And it doesn't require that cell phone towers can hit you with a laser beam through the walls and make you feel bad, okay? That was a big part of the psychological warfare. This info is info. So gangstalk is really targeted with lies. Common target tactics is to comment on your personal life, often with a gaslighting spin on it, okay? Often with a gaslighting spin. Often with a gaslighting spin. So it'll be like, do you understand? It's like, let's make up an example, okay, of a gaslighting spin while also coming to personal life. If I would have a hemorrhoid on my ass, okay, and it's like I talk to my wife. It's like, how you doing, honey? Well, it's like I had a hemorrhoid and it burst and I got some pain in my butt cheek or something like this, okay. And then next time I go outside, there's somebody that's like, people are demon possessed will manifest with hemorrhoids, okay. So it's like commenting on something I said recently and adding gas on a spin on that. Not only are they commenting on my personal life, but they're saying I'm demon possessed too. See, that would be what gaslighting. So it's like calling the person life and gaslighting. And a lot of times I use it like silly examples where it is something shameful or something like this, but it doesn't have to be just constant commenting on things you're doing and then adding gas on a spin on has been a big part of target. Do you understand? So a common tactic that gangstalking people use on is so-called direct conversation, where they have strangers come to their private life and make reference to phone calls. Here's another thing I like to say to balance things out. Don't be paranoid. If you're a person that's been communicating to totally online, like writing in the chat or you talk to a person on the phone as a total video, there's like now, it's like I've been spied on, they spy on everybody. The deep state have been listening to everybody's phone calls for years, okay? They're listening to people through the TV sets, okay? Everybody's being spied on all the time. The difference is the TIs know that they're being spied on because the secretly acquired intel is used to customize highly sophisticated, highly effective psychological warfare method. Meaning everybody's being spied. You got a smartphone they're listening into, okay? And I don't have to get into how much is human and how much is an AI that's like listening and then doing transcript to go to government databases. Okay, but it's like people that talk on the phone, messenger, everything is being like dragnetted, understand, and like terabytes of hard drives in the government offices and what everybody's been saying on the phone since the 90s or something like this, understand? Okay, what everybody's been saying on the phone, what everybody's been doing, and things like this. So as a general rule of thumb, everybody's being spied on. Everybody, you count on that, everybody's being spied on. Everybody's phone calls are being monitored for years, okay? Everybody has had the government tap into the looking at you in your home if you have a webcam, you have a phone, and things like this. And most likely stored, okay? Okay? The difference is, so basically everybody's being spied on through the electronics. The difference is target videos like me know we're being spied on. Because them spying on target videos, they use what they hear and see to customize harassment skits, okay? And to comment on your personal life to mess with you. And it's enough to comment on your personal life. Do you understand? To make you feel harassed and violated. Now, if you add psychological, like a gaslighting spin on it, and twist things, and that makes it more effective. But any person, it's like you would know that it's like if if somebody would hack your laptop, and it happens, somebody starts commenting on what you're saying out loud in your home, songs you listen to, what you're doing in your home, you feel harassed, okay? It's like somebody hacked your phone and now they started to talk about what you're doing. Do you understand? If somebody at work, every time you show up for work, they comment on stuff, it's like, oh, I said that at dinner table, I said to my wife. Oh, and the next time it's like something else that they comment on, oh, it's like, that's what I said watching a movie, like watching Die Hard with my wife, having TV night, and the kind of reference to that conversation we had in front of the TV, you feel incredibly violated and harassed, okay? See? Do you understand? Now, to add insult to injury, the program also uses gaslighting spins on it to be like guys who say, do you understand? He says like, they are serial killers or a Netflix, like this, not a real human. Do you understand? So it's like they cover a person's life and then add like a gaslighting spin on it. This program talks with lies. This is satanic, evil, wicked persecution program. And I was live on TikTok and on my balcony. And on TikTok, after the end of the live stream, doesn't say on my channel. So I had to go back and extract clips if I want to upload parts of my past live stream as videos, which is why I end up streaming live here a lot. Because once I'm done with the live stream, it remains as a video that people can watch and not able to watch live, okay? There might be somebody who would like to watch this live stream, but right now it didn't work. And if this was a TikTok live stream, as soon as I end it, it's gone. But since it's YouTube, it stays as a video. So, oh, Mike was live earlier today. I can watch a replay. So, I think there might be something where you can, whatever, there's ways that you can republish these parts of your TikTok live streams, but it's like a workflow, okay? It's more tricky. Here I go live 3 hours. All those 3 hours automatically stay on my channel. Whereas on TikTok, it's like I have to go in, watch like TikTok studio, live stream replays, which one was I going to clip from. This time, I was like 2 times today, which one was I said that thing, go find it and then scan through what part of the live stream is I said the thing that I want to get a clip out of. Here it is, clip extracted and then upload it as a video. Okay, so it's like I spend more time live streaming, so I gotta finish up. Gangstalking is real. Then I find it cute how they work into perception management and make me sound weak because I'm talking about being the target, like it's like making me weak. So why are you talking about women's problems? It's not women's problems, okay? And I'm not being weak, okay? So it's like try to frame it. I notice how the cyber stalker show up in the chat, the perception managed me. It's like, well, the truth is you could go, it's like, he's like the guy, the enemy of the state that gets targeted by the state. And then he's explaining the psychological warfare, how it works. But let's paint it as a weak bitch that's worried about being bullied by strangers, okay? See? This is a perception management. The truth is I'm being persecuted and targeted. I'm in a war, and you don't see me crying anymore here, okay? But I'm fighting tyranny by making videos like this, okay? When I make this, it's not just because I'm bored and want to talk about it. This is an info war. This is how you fight against tyranny. Working to create exposure, awareness, explain the targeting, get the word about the targeting, sometimes explain certain targeting tactics, okay? But you work at the paint as if I'm weak. Why you talk about woman party? It's not woman party, it's real man party, som jag säger. So, I've been taught a secret persecution form called Gangstalking, which is work to destroy my life. And one of the ways that they target is with psychological warfare. And what type of psychological warfare? Gaslighting is part of psychological warfare. And it's not crying. It makes me pissed, okay? It makes me angry. I don't go on crying about it. It doesn't make me feel. But it's like you got a perception managed. Now I already got 4 likes on this video. And so the time live view to like ratio is decent. I gotta finish up.